breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Post. Breaking. This elderly man was kicked out of Bank of America, then cop takes immediate action. Officer Robert Gist of the Montebello Police Department had no idea what he was walking into when he responded to a disturbance call at a local bank, yet as the police often do he responded anyway, doing an often thankless job. However, on this particular occasion Officer Gist is finding that a little care and compassion in his everyday job went a really long way for another man. It all began on a Friday afternoon when Officer Gist was dispatched to the Montebello Bank of America to respond to a customer reportedly causing a disturbance. When Officer Gist arrived, he found an extremely distraught and frustrated 92-year-old Jesus Rangel. Rangel's angst and frustration stemmed from learning he could not withdraw money from his very own bank account because his California driver's license had expired. Police officers were called to the bank after the man became frustrated and was reportedly causing a disturbance. Rather than handcuffing the man and hauling him off to jail as some officers might have done, Officer Gist decided to help solve Rangel's problem. Gist could have chosen to simply de-escalate the situation and sent the gentleman on his way. Which would have certainly fulfilled his job requirements. However, rather than choosing to simply live by the letter of the law, Officer Gist chose to go above and beyond, helping Rangel find a long-term solution to his banking problem instead. Officer Gist got Rangel calmed down and got approval from his sergeant. Officer Gist then drove Rangel directly to the Department of Motor Vehicles where he assisted the elderly man in renewing his license. But the kindness didn't end there. When they were done, he took Rangel back to the bank, where Rangel was able to withdraw the much-needed money from his bank account. Police said Rangel thanked Officer Gist, then went on his way. Montebello police shared a photo on Facebook of the officer assisting Rangel at the DMV. The post promptly went viral. "Good cops do exist," one commenter said. "This officer is a saint. All this little grandpa wants is to keep his independence. And the officer helped him in a dignified manner. Good job, officer," another commenter wrote. Many point to Officer Gist's act of kindness as an excellent example of what is known as community policing, where a police officer treats others in the community the way that they would wish that they would want to be treated and sees those you interact with as people and not the problem, according to lawofficer.com, a law enforcement news and education site. Lawofficer.com states of the events that transpired. In the Courageous Leadership seminar that Law Officer recently partnered with, one of the sections I was impressed with was the issue of courageous community. What does it really mean to engage with a community? Major Travis Yates declared to those in attendance. Yates details that the issue of community policing is both confusing and misinterpreted by many. If you have 10 people in the room and ask them what community policing is, you will get 10 different answers, Yates said in a recent seminar I attended on behalf of Law Officer. As Yates points out, you can boil down community policing into two specific definitions. Treat people the way you would want to be treated and see those you interact with as people rather than problems. It sounds simple, and that is the point. It's as simple as what we saw in Montebello, CA, this past week. After the Montebello police were called to a Bank of America for a disturbance, they encountered a 92-year-old man who was trying to withdraw money from his account, but his California identification was expired and the man was upset. Bank policy required a current identification, which is exactly what Officer Montebello Police Officer Robert Gist, above, could have said. The problem is that you don't have current identification, so the bank wins and you lose, which frankly is what some in law enforcement would have done. But if you believe in courageous community, more must be done, and that is exactly what was done. Much more. When officers arrived, Officer Robert Gist took the man to the Department of Motor Vehicles and he helped him renew his identification card. Once renewed, the man was taken back and was able to take money from his account. As the Montebello Police Facebook said, he thanked Officer Gist and went on his way. The pundits, politicians and even some police administrators may say that isn't good enough. Police need more programs, more people and more funding, when the reality is, we don't. While it is true that some activists will never be satisfied until we never make another arrest, that is not the answer. We see the answer right here in a small city just east of Los Angeles. The City of Montebello Police Department and Officer Robert just get it. It is really that simple.